Now welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Going to the dark side of the news.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. It is Halloween, so you have a, spooky story for us?
Kinda. Alright, we're going to talk about Gina Carano because the South Park Into the Panderverse episode came out.
Did you just call it the Panderverse?
Yes, because everything is black and white.
Was that intentional or an accident and you just recovered?
I was recovering.
Nicely done. Okay.
That's what I do.
That was good. Anyway, enter the Panderverse, yes.
Panderverse.
Which we watched together. We watched it, I did a video the other day, giving some of my thoughts on that one.
Well, you weren't the only one who had thoughts on the episode.
There were a lot of thoughts from what I heard, yes.
And Gina Carano had some thoughts as well.
Okay.
I almost accidentally called her a thought.
I don't think she's a thought because thoughts are...
Yeah, I know what thoughts are.
Jeez, you were on a roll today, but not in a good way, or are you?
But
I don't know. I don't even know anymore.
It's Halloween. I do what I want.
Yeah.
But as we all know, Carano was fired, let go, somehow disappeared from Star Wars after posting a series of tweets comparing the current political climate in the United States to that of Nazi Germany, which Disney and others decided to claim was very anti-Semitic of her.
Yeah, it may not... the point she was trying to make, I think, was a good one, how easily you can turn on your neighbors. Maybe the means by which she tried to make that point was offensive to some.
Well, it's funny because it turned out to be true in her case.
I mean, in a way...
Everyone did turn on her.
In a way, it shows how that can work, right?
Yes, which was not intentional, I assume.
No.
But the episode kind of poked quite a bit of fun at Kathleen Kennedy, and Gina Carano had a great time with that.
I can imagine. I'm sure no love lost there.
She posted up on X that this is the part where Kathleen Kennedy demands any YouTuber gets censored right off of YouTube for sharing and laughing at this hilarious episode. She'll have YouTube disable the thumbs down option because of the ratio she'll receive. She'll have her publicist ghouls make sure Variety and Hollywood Reporter run hit pieces about the South Park creators and their families, smearing their names through every useful idiot she has under her thumb who would sell their soul to work for Lucasfilm.
I almost feel like Trey Parker and Matt Stone are kind of uncancelable. Is that a word?
They're totally immune. They took the I'm rubber, you're glue totally literally.
I mean, they've been doing this for, 25 years? South Park, almost 30 at this point?
And they're still doing it. They don't stop.
No, they go after everybody and anybody, though.
And they go after a lot of people equally.
Yeah, even this episode wasn't... I mean, does it take a lot of shots at Lucasfilm, Disney, and Kennedy? Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
But does it take shots at the other side as well? Absolutely.
It does, because Cartman is the troll that pushed her further.
Yeah, because Cartman is kind of the anti-woke guy who just wants to get upset about everything.
Yes, he's the one that will send the tweets out on Twitter about Kathleen Kennedy, you should all this because you're writing this bad, and it's a double-edged sword.
Well, the point is, if you haven't seen it, haven't heard about it somehow, the point is, Kennedy goes and uses the pander stone, as it's called. Yeah, the panda stone, whatever you want to call it, and kind of starts making movies to broaden the audience and to right some of the wrongs in the world somehow with films. And the result is, of course, the fans, or Cartman in this case, being upset and writing tons of letters to Kennedy that, she's woke and whatever.
The troll letters,
calling her the C word, too.
That's what he does, yeah.
So, and so Kennedy then responds by doubling down, which is potentially what has happened. We don't know.
You sink down to the level of your trolls. You're both down there slinging mud and
that's the
not
thing.
Helping anything.
Everybody is kind of losing in this battle because now here we have Disney making these Panderverse movies, and nobody is, they're losing an audience, and people are upset with the films, or they want just Star Wars to be Star Wars, and then you have the fans who, of course, aren't happy either. So it's kind of this weird dynamic or dichotomy where you have the two sides just both angering the other for no reason, when everybody just wants good movies and to make money.
I mean, Gina Carano continued that she'll activate her online mob to repeat that the South Park creators are racist, bigots, transphobes, and demand the South Park creators publicly apologize by using only words she approves of. And then she'll demand they subject themselves to a re-education course, blah, 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 with hurt feelings over a South Park episode.
I trust the blah, 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 blah was not her exact quote.
Not exactly, but
the point is made,
so,
yes.
But after that, of course, somebody responded to her saying that she was out of her gosh darned mind. So there's your Cartman, now coming back at her. So she doubled down, which is funny because that's what Kennedy did.
Yeah, I mean, allegedly. We don't know what her true motivations are, how much the trolls have gotten to her, and how much is just her thinking she's doing the right thing.
Right, but she was now upset and said, that she was fired and that Disney and Kennedy fire and dehumanize people like her who did nothing wrong, all to virtue signal to people like you, the yes man.
It does feel that way. It's all about appeasing your crowd in a sort of way, right? I mean, that's what this is all about. It feels like more than ever nowadays, you just pander. I mean, Into the Panderverse is the perfect name for this episode because that's what the world has become.
It's sad but true.
Because you have that side and you just pander to your side and you tell them what they want to hear and they back you up and you profit off of it by one way or another. And then you have the other side which you must demonize in order to keep your pander crowd happy. And it just goes on and on and on until the two sides split further and further apart. And we just hate each other for it. Which kind of goes back to the Carano thing she posted.
Exactly.
Comes full circle.
She finishes it up by saying, I'm not saying I'm right on all fronts, but I am open-hearted and refuse to discriminate based off powerful people telling me how to think and act, and if there was something I needed to apologize for, I would have in a heartbeat, but I didn't say or do anything wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's how she feels. I again, that Twitter post, X post, whatever you want to call it now, it was trying to make a point, and I think it's a point that maybe needs to be made, because we are at each other's throat. We hate each other. There's literally talk of a second civil war here in the United States, which is ridiculous because,
right.
I mean, can't we just sit down like human beings and have a discussion and figure out that most of us kind of want the same things, right? We want to just live our lives and, we want people to kind of let us live our lives, and that's how it should be in theory.
Yeah. In one sense, and I almost don't like that I'm about to say this, I feel sad for Kathleen Kennedy in the fact that her entire legacy, her big career move at Star Wars, I am in charge of Lucasfilm, just spiraled down.
Yeah.
When she's heading towards the golden years of her career, heading towards retirement. And everything that she's put out is disliked.
She's destroyed Star Wars. I mean, there are some people out there who love what she's done, and that's great. I have no ill will. I'm not that person who has to hate somebody who disagrees with me, which is why maybe I find the world frustrating today, is because we all have to do that. Anyway, I don't hate Kathleen Kennedy. I'm not happy that she has, in my view, really tarnished Star Wars.
Exactly.
Do I feel sad for her? I mean, she's a human being, and I don't think she intentionally did this. And I know some will disagree and say she wanted to destroy Star Wars, but as you were just saying, this is her legacy. This is good or bad. This is what she's going to be most known for, and she's done,
that makes me sad.
Things in the past. Well, it makes me sad for a fellow human being.
Right.
There's the part of me who's a diehard Star Wars fan who is like, well, she should have done this or that. She could have brought in different people, had a better plan. So it's kind of her fault, right? But that doesn't mean I can't have a degree of empathy for somebody who kind of destroyed their legacy.
And the blame isn't all on her. I mean, somebody checks what she's doing.
Well, do they, though? I mean,
apparently
that's the
not.
thing.
I mean, but then again, all of Disney's gone down this road. Kennedy's not in charge of every Disney project that comes out. She's in charge of Lucasfilm. That can't explain all the problems with other movies they've been having.
No, certainly not. No, it's a strange... I mean, you point out, have somebody check over things. That's what you would almost think there would be people at Lucasfilm who would have read some of these scripts and been like, man, if you do this, you're gonna poke the beehive.
And we can't forget, Rogue One still came out in the Kennedy era.
Well, sure, Mandalorian Season 1 and 2. There's been wins under Kennedy, but there's been some serious losses as well.
The losses are just felt harder because the losses are, for some reason, their lows are seeming to be much worse than the highs.
Yeah. Plus, you expect Star Wars to win, right? I mean, we expect that. That's kind of what, as fans, we, baseline is for it to be good, if not great. Right. So when it loses, that hurts. It's like having the team full of all-stars and you lose the World Series and you're like, well, how did you lose this? You should have won that. Not to mention the things you lose are again, the World Series. You lose the sequel trilogy. The Kenobi series isn't great. So the things you're losing are the ones that you really needed to win.
Right,
it's not
those
like
were the big hits.
Yeah, you're not losing the preseason games, which nobody has such a care about. You're losing when it matters most.
Right.
So yeah, I do feel a degree of sympathy for her, and I know some will be in the comments like, screw her, I don't care, I hope she is in misery, I hope all the comments get to her, and hey, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But I try to even if it's somebody I don't like, I try to see their side of things. I try to understand. I try to be an empathetic person.
Well, and these bad choices, they're her choices. They're going to still haunt her. She's
you're
still going to
right.
deal with all of this.
That is the other side of it. She made the choices. She could have tried to find different people. She could have asked more people for opinions and advice. She could have taken Lucas's scripts. A lot of things she could have done to fix the dilemma she's currently in. But the idea that she tried to destroy Star Wars, I don't buy that. This is her legacy. This is what she will be remembered for. Mm-hmm. And, well, most people are going to remember her as being the one who killed Star Wars.
Facts.
All right. Well, that is going to be all we got for you this time. Now it is your turn.
Spooky.
Yeah, this was our spooky video, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, take to the comments. This video will haunt you. It maybe. Take to the comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.